I have lots of fake animals too. It's okay, Chris.
It hurts. It hurts, but you know, we do what we can. We do what we can. I've got my monster and my my dragon cat stuffed animal to keep me company. And I will show you guys after the session the wild what I am looking at because it's insane. Just stuff everywhere, like loose papers, sticky notes, index cards, and there's like this stacked up over here.
The DM BTS.
Yes, right. And then yes, and it's incredible, and I love it so much. So I guess on that note, welcome back to Slice and Dice. We are picking back up in our campaign, Monsters in the Basement. Last we left off, our party had been joined by a new face. Dowcom, the tiefling barbarian, stepped up, and our party found themselves again entering the tunnels underneath the Chantry of Tyr in the city-state of Stettin. And when they entered the tunnel, they found themselves face to face with a new kind of demon. This one was covered in spikes and had an Australian accent, and like his predecessor with the beard, found himself vanquished on the floor along with all of his various minions. And that is where we find ourselves now, is on the demon blood-soaked tunnel with our various party members, joined by a paladin who is the captain of the city guard, Fox, and one of the guards from the city who at this point to the party remains nameless. And that's where we find ourselves now. We have just finished the fight, and the party is standing in front of what I imagine to be the horribly desecrated bodies of various demons. And sweet, so that's where we're at. What do you guys want to do? Here, let me pull that scene up so you can see. Sweet. So that's our little motley crew over there hanging out.
Oh boy.
What do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna light a torch and start walking forward.
Sweet, yeah, okay, all right. You pull out a torch and light it. So darkness is somewhat illuminated around you. At this point, you can see off in the distance that there is a light, and I think I mentioned that last time. Hopefully I did. If I didn't, that was on me. But there is a light.
We know now.
There is, now you know. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, which that
answers a lot of questions.
Might be less hopeful than that traditionally is
very foreboding.
Yeah, right. The light at the end of the tunnel generally doesn't have this.
Just a train, bro. Just a train.
Right. That's it. Yeah. Just a train underground.
Trains and tunnels. That's the subway.
I've never been.
That was like a subway.
Right. What is this? Duh, Christian. Well, anyway, moving right along. So are you guys going to continue down the tunnel, or what's the plan? I think Judah's already made it clear that she's moving straight ahead.
I'm going to continue down the tunnel.
Yeah.
Great.
Barry's going to continue, but he's going to try to pull Cal off to the side so he can talk to her, like, for a moment, if I can. And Barry's going to look her in the eyes and say, hey, that last fight, look, I don't care about me dying because I lived a pretty good life already, but I want to know you're gonna be okay. If it doesn't turn out our way in this one, I need to know that you're gonna be okay, because look, you're a good person. You've just been through a lot, and just remember that you don't just save one person from me, okay? If I'm gone, just save one person. Because I know it's easier to just take him out, but just for me. Because you got a good soul and I don't want it to go.
Nothing's gonna happen to you, first of all. Let's get that straight right now.
We don't know.
I know. I know.
I just
But I
had
will make
Ozzy
sure.
kick my ass.
But you're still here and he's not. And it's gonna stay that way. But I will make sure.
All right. Just promise me if there's ever a day I'm not there.
I
you'll be
promise.
okay. And Barry would just put his hand on her shoulder, pat it a few times, and then bring out the guitar and start just playing a few notes and walking happy as ever, like nothing happened.
Sweet. So you guys have this really touching moment, and it's punctuated by stepping over the body of the Australian demon that we referenced earlier. As you walk down the tunnel and rejoin your companions as you move forward. You walk for probably about another 60, 80 feet, maybe longer. Hard to tell down here. Everything looks the same. The air all feels dank and dark, kind of heavy. There's that sort of like iron and salt smell of blood, and that's coming from behind you. But as you move forward, it starts to get a little bit stronger from in front of you. As you guys approach the light, the feeling in the air starts to get a little bit colder, a little bit heavier. And as you move forward, you get to a point where you're standing right outside what looks to be like a big sort of stone, or not stone, but dirt outcropping. It's a door size, with this tunnel just sort of like empties into what appears to be some sort of massive room.
Is it like a cavern, like a cave, or is it man-made?
This is man-made. This is man-made, much like the tunnel.
Do we have a picture? Can we walk into that?
I'm gonna, yeah, if you guys want to walk in, you'll walk in, and I'll tune right back in.
The girl's been walking.
Sweet. Okay. All right. Hey, listen. Caution to the wind. I feel you.
Always.
Before we deal with that, we're gonna switch gears and we're gonna talk about someone else.
I wonder who that'll be.
Crazy.
Listen.
Such a mystery.
Listen. And that particular person happens to be a dwarf in plate armor who is walking down the path. They finally have approached the walls of Stettin, this city-state on the cliffside. This massive gatehouse stands in front of them. Deli, would you like to describe your character for us, pretty please?
All right. My name is Thraine Stonefist. I'm just a little guy. I'm a little dwarf. I'm by trade, I'm a peace cleric. I just, I think that everyone should, just have a chance to talk things out really before violence escalates. That's kind of my mantra. I saw some really horrific things in the past, and I'm trying to get away from that. And here I am. I was called to duty to help some people out, and here I am on my way to just try and do my best. And what he looks like is he's a little dwarf, and he has like bright red hair. He has like kind of like a shaved mohawk. It's not very tall, and then he has like a braided beard, with like little metal like clasps and all this stuff in it. And he's like up here, he looks kind of intense, but then he like wears kind of like white robes. Like they're not super fresh looking because he's been traveling a lot. But yeah, he definitely has like a lot of white on, like mechanically, he does wear plate armor, but he's not like, the way that he dresses is not intimidating. So yeah.
Perfect. He's perfect, and I love him. And as he approaches this gate, he is approached by two guards, one of which is about a 7-foot tall dragonborn guard, and the other one is about a 5'10" human male guard. They approach and they're like, the human approaches you first and goes, right, so what's your business then?
I just say like, oh, one second. And I like, have a little pack and I pull it out of my pack and I be like, I believe that this would grant me access.
He takes it from you and he looks at it and he looks over to the dragonborn, he like shows the dragonborn nods, and they like stuff the letter in their pocket, like, you need to come right now. Come on. And they like the gate sort of swings open and they both escort you into the city very quickly, and the gate shuts behind you. And you get this sort of like, police escort into the city. And as you walk in, you see like the city expands before you, right? There's off to the side a park that you can see with these trees coming up and a little river around it. There's a suburb over here of houses and things. And on the walkway that you're being escorted through, there are market stalls along the roadway, but they're walking you straight through there. You walk into the city square and there's shops with market stalls between these bigger building shops. There's a massive statue, and I think that you would recognize that statue as Tyr, the god of justice. And it's got these fountains and bushes around it, but these two guards are just speed escorting you straight through, and they take you straight to a chantry, a massive stone structure, and they walk you inside. The chantry is more or less empty, and the sight that you behold as you walk into the chantry is a little bit grim. There is what looks to be blood stains on a number of surfaces, but most apparently up at the front, and I'll show you the inside of this chantry. Sweet. So you walk into this chantry with your guard escort, and you walk in, and up on this pulpit area, right up here, you see most of the blood. Also, there is a person standing over the blood. It is a female person who's standing there in what looks to be some sort of scale plate armor with a hood. She's got a crossbow on one hip and she's got a long sword on the other. She turns to look as you come in, and she just sort of like looks you up and down, and she goes, "Are you the cleric?"
Sure am.
Great. This way. And she gestures, and she walks through the doorway behind that, like behind the pulpit on the stage. There's a big golden door to an office. And the guards just sort of like motion for you to follow her, but they do not appear to be moving.
Okay. Follow her.
Sweet. So you go up, you hop up onto the stage, which is a little bit of a hop for you as a dwarf, but not too bad. A little bit of a clamber up there, and then open the door. And you see she has just opened a trap door in the floor. And again, in the office, there is also a number of, but this blood is a little bit different. This is sort of a dark purplish color, very different than the like, deep crimson that was staining the stage out front. And she motions for you to follow, and then she climbs a couple of rungs down a ladder and into a space below.
Oh, all right. We're going down here. Okay, all right. And he just kind of like follows her. He's like, "Are you okay? Is everyone all right? Does anyone need a healing word? I don't know what's going on." Like,
she turns to you. And she's like, "I'm so sorry."
Yes, please.
Right. So she turns to you and she goes, "I'm so sorry. I understand that the contents of my letter were not that the situation's changed. We found the cleric. The cleric was killed. That is the stain that you saw up front. The stain in his office is from some sort of demonic creature. I'm not 100% sure, but what I do know is that the people that found the cleric and they're going farther in, and we gotta go, because I think there's gonna be a problem." And so she starts booking it down the tunnel. Do you move to follow her?
oh, for sure.
Sweet. So you guys are booking it down. There's stairs and there's hallways and all kinds of fun stuff. But while you guys are moving right along, we are going to swing back To our other group, and to satiate our less patient Queen Jude, you find yourselves in a rather
that's demonic.
big room. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You walk in,
Man, dog.
and
That's a little
smell
sus.
of blood.
This looks like the attic Jude used to hang out in.
It hits you in the face, right? This is a massive room, mind you. We're talking more than like 100 feet to the other side. The radius of this room is enormous. But the smell is the thing that hits you first, right? And it's just that pungent iron and salt of blood, right? Most notably coming from what looks to be a massive sigil in the middle of the room. What you notice next is that beside you appears to be a pile of bones.
Ooh.
Some of them, most of them, are human. Some of them are not. What they are is hard to tell, but there is a pile, like a pool of dried blood underneath those bones. Some of it looks like it's been there for a lot longer. Some of it looks a little bit more fresh. Blood stains cover the floor. And yet, there is also an interesting academic sense to this room. You notice a massive 5-pointed chandelier in like angry looking twisted metal. And then you also notice stools in a 5-pointed pattern around the sigil, each with a candelabra on them. But around the walls, you see books are strewn about. There is tables covered in like potions with various containers of liquids that you don't recognize, maybe experiments in progress. You see bookshelves. There are several desks, especially all the way across the far room. You see some sort of stone table covered in papers. There's a bed in the far corner. And then there are these tables with what looks to be like spell books. You can feel the power coming from them. Calpione, especially the demonic presence that you feel here is just as much as it was with some of the demons that you fought in the tunnel. This is a sucker punch, right? We're up a level now. We're playing with the big leagues. And speaking of the big leagues, the presence that you notice as you walk into this room is an enormous 10-foot tall demon with these huge pincer arms sticking off one of his like upper shoulders. What appears to be 2 human arms working with some of the potions. He's got this massive sort of horse-like head, it looks like, with these horns coming off, big, powerful legs with these like, talons coming off of his feet. And as you come in, he turns to your party and he goes, "Welcome, my friends, welcome. I am glad to see that you have made it. Come, let us talk. I apologize for the inconvenience that you faced in the tunnel. Some of my friends are a bit less business-minded, if you understand. Some of them go straight for the violence, but that proves my point that you are worth talking to, doesn't it? So, would you like to talk business?"
Jude, I guess steps further into the room. Is the room well lit? Can we see everything
It is.
clearly?
As you step in, it seems like these lights come on.
So Jude kind of like puts out her torch and tosses it to the side and goes, like what you've done to the place.
I do have a certain ambiance, but I feel that it is necessary so that you know I'm not to be trifled with.
Barry yells out, "Yeah, no, I like the vibe, but I'm more of a cottagecore gal myself." But
Jude's like, I feel like you would fit in better with the unsealing court. However, I'm willing to hear your proposition. I'm Queen Jude.
I know who you are.
Yeah, I figured.
Dalcom is just intently eyeing at him, trying to figure out if this is the one that he needs.
Cal is like
I
speechless
see.
because this room is everything she's ever wanted.
Barry's tuning his guitar and not paying attention to a damn thing.
I was going to say, so as Dalcom is used to being sort of the big guy in the room, and this is kind of a twist. But that's not to necessarily say you're out of your element, right? I mean, this is not something that you're unaccustomed to, but this is a powerful
he's used
presence,
to it.
Very close. And he looks at you, eyeballing him, and he goes, I see. No, it's not me. Who is it you're looking for?
It doesn't matter. I'll kill you anyway.
I like him.
Hear what I have to say first. Okay? And then if you decide you need to kill me, you can try.
Speak quickly.
Who would like to talk with me first?
I'll do
I'll
it.
go.
Dude, you go ahead and go.
He, as you say that, Barry, he turns to you and he looks at you and he goes, Hombre de la muerte. You are far from home, aren't you?
Well, I don't really have much of a home anymore, my friend. My home is my good friend here, Cal.
Interesting. He turns to you, Jude, who has stepped up the closest so far. And while you get that very evil, dangerous sense that you got from some of the other demons, that level of like just gross and disgusting air is not necessarily present. This seems to be somewhat of a step up in the chain of command. And he looks at you and he smiles and he goes, how long have you been Queen of the Fae?
Enough.
You have to speak up,
I said long enough. Why do you ask?
Long
And I'm
enough.
pretty sure you know, don't you?
This is business. But Dublai, I have a proposition for you. I understand that you have somewhat of a fascination with power. Am I right?
Understatement, but sure.
I see. I see. You're someone who craves control. No.
It is the only way to keep the people I love safe, so it is the only option I have.
You're speaking my language. I understand. And I think I have something that might be of interest to you. And he sort of opens his hand. And as he does, this circlet appears. It looks like gold vines sort of wrapped in a circle, and a yellow stone sits in the middle. And you can feel, without even touching it, you can feel the Feywild's magic emanating from this circlet. And he looks at you and he goes, this is the circlet of the Fey. It's a powerful artifact. It channels much magic. Here. And he allows you gestures for you to touch it.
Do I recognize the circlet as something
Don't
from
recognize the circlet. You do recognize the craftsmanship style. It doesn't. It is Fey.
It
and
is
the-
definitely from my land. He's not fucking
Yes,
with
and
me.
the magic is Fey. Why? I mean, this is absolutely a Fey artifact.
Jude takes out her short sword and like picks up the circlet with the short sword out of his hand, so she doesn't actually have to touch it right away, and kind of just twirls it around the short sword. And as she's twirling it, she goes, "So what exactly does a girl have to do to keep this crown?"
He smiles and laughs. He goes, "Ah, yes, I see. You found the crown of the Fae and you picked it up with a sword. Very classy." And as it spins once, sort of clatters around, spins twice, and on the third one, he sort of winks. And as he does, you see a vision. You see a vision of yourself wearing this circlet, and you are casting spells. You are watching these sort of like these arrows sort of like just ping off of you. And you raise your sword up and you strike at someone, and you watch as their eyes sort of like start to widen and they can't focus, and you see this like sort of like purplish burst of energy come out of their eyes before they just sort of stumble back. And then you watch yourself raise your hand and shoot, and a rainbow of color just bursts forth from your hand, and you watch it strike your enemies. One catches on fire, one freezes mid-step, another one is struck with lightning, and you watch one slowly turn to stone, Another one sort of stumbles around, grasping wildly in the darkness, it seems, and then is apparated, is gone completely. And then the fourth swing around your sword, and the vision's done, and you're staring back at Jeffrey. And he goes,
So the fourth swing, I swing the sword up, and like the crown flies off the sword, and I catch it in my hand, and I bring it down, and I like investigate it, and I say, I'll say it one more time. What's a girl got to do to keep the crown?
it's a transaction.
I'm not saying I'm going to. I'm just saying, what are you asking for?
As you may have guessed, I am in the business of souls. But I am not looking to collect for some sort of hoard. I am making promises that in the future, you will support my allies, and you will not harm me or anyone I am connected with. And should we need your help, you will provide it.
What is
And you
you
will
and
answer
your
to
what
me.
are you and your allies' end goals? And how is that going to affect my land and this continent that we all live on?
Understand that your lands will be safe.
What about lands under my jurisdiction? Lands next to my lands? That's all in effect to Fairy.
Your lands will be unaffected.
Well, that's
You
pretty
have my
clear.
word.
And who are said friends that you I guess are going to be bringing through this little portal thing in the center of the room you have set up here?
No. I could explain to you the pieces on the chessboard, but it is so far beyond your grasp at this point that it would be like
It's rude.
explaining letter. Not to insult your intelligence at all, Queen. You are most intelligent. You just don't understand the pieces that are at play.
What if I just take the crown and don't make your deal?
Put it on.
Almost got me there. Not gonna lie. Almost got me. Can I think about it? What's the time frame on this? Can I try it out?
No, there's no free trial.
30-day with your money back guarantee.
Tell you what. He snaps his fingers and the circlet appears back in his hand.
That slimy fuck.
I'll hold on to this. You think about it. It's a good deal.
Dude
It's
goes,
a very,
I like that move. All right.
it's a good deal, Jude. It's a very good
I'll
deal.
think about it. I want to hear what you have to say to the other people.
He tosses it and it looks like it should hit the ground and it just vanishes. Who would speak to me next?
I got you. What you want, boss?
Hombre de la muerte. Barry. What is it you want, Barry?
Not many things. I'm kind of already gone, my friend. I don't know what you can promise me.
That's right. The musician eaten by a dragon. No, very many people have that story, do they?
No, quite special. What can I say?
What happened to your band, do you know?
I don't. I'm looking for him, but no telling. I'm sure they kept playing music.
You remember they were still fighting a dragon.
Yeah.
Did you think that they won?
Well, knowing Larry, probably took a little bit longer, but I'm sure they got it.
I hate to be the one to bring this news to you, Bray, but they did not have it. However, I happen to be a man of many talents. And I could be persuaded to potentially get your band to revisit the world of the living. In addition, I have something that I think that you may be interested in. And of course, I have been wrong before, but not very often. And he swings his hands around, and in his hands, he holds this demonic looking guitar. and you can feel humming from its strings power and magical energy. And he looks at you and he goes, "This was crafted by the best bards to ever walk the material plane. This instrument never loses tune. And more importantly, actually, here, play a chord if you will."
Barry plays the starting few notes to Paint It Black.
As you start, a vision, it's you. You're alive again, for real.
Wait, you're talking like hair and
You've
mustache?
got your mustache. You're back. It's you.
Oh my god.
Around you is your band. And you've got this guitar. And with this guitar, you're playing the guitar on one end. There's an exact copy of you playing it on the other end. These people between you are like completely confused as to what exactly is going on. And a lot of them are just sort of like giving up out the gate. And then you see that the dragon comes back. As it does, you sort of smirk, hit like a power chord in the song, and this golden doorway opens up. And you and your bandmates just like shuffle through it. And there's this huge mansion just full of invisible servants. And as the dragon's closing in, you hit another chord and the door disappears behind you and your bandmates. And these invisible servants come up to you and they're like, "Right then, Master Barry, might we provide you with some after concert snacks?" And they've just got platters of food. And then you guys just have like a jam sesh in this like huge mansion. And after that, you like open the door again, walk back out, and continue on your merry way. And as the song sort of starts to get to a close, the vision fades away.
Barry stands there and like, you know, he doesn't have tear ducts, but he kind of has this phantom tear go by. Like, and he goes to get it, but he knows it's not there, so he just kind of like rubs his face a bit and he says, How did they go as heroes? Was it bad? Was it fast?
My friend, I'm not here to rub salt in the wound and to make a pain more painful. Hasta la muerte. Death comes for us all. The way that it happens, it happens. You cannot change the facts that you are dead or alive, unless, of course, you're me. But don't spend time worrying about whether or not they died as heroes or what people thought of them as they died. Understand that they did what they could to try and help, and unfortunately, they did not succeed.
Barry would look back at Cal for like just any kind of insight of to what to do, as he just kind of breaks a little bit.
Tell you what, my friend. He snaps and the guitar is back. It sort of is slung around his back for a second, and just for a moment, he looks really hardcore, and then it sort of like vanishes.
He's got the music in him.
That is necessary if you are going to be a demon. Just understand, we all have the music, my friend. But you think about it, I may have failed to mention, this also provides, well, I should just say, fire will no longer be an issue for you. I know that may be a touchy spot because of the dragons, and I thought that might be something you would appreciate.
I appreciate your craftsmanship, at the very least.
It's not mine.
Well, then I appreciate your taste. At the very least.
Who would speak to me next?
I will.
The demon
While
slayer.
you're talking to people, I want you to be like wandering around the room investigating things, minding your own business.
Okay, sweet. Yeah. Yeah, give me an investigation check, and then we'll talk about it after this. Demon Slayer. What do you want?
You know what I want.
I know, but I have to ask. You understand?
Where is he?
I wish I could tell you I could bring him here, but he's already gone.
I don't believe you.
he snaps, and in his hand, he holds the head of the man that you saw in the vision of the flames, and he tosses it to you.
Do I got to roll to catch that?
No, you can just catch it. You can just catch it. You've been waiting for this moment your whole
All
life.
right, I catch it.
Right. You
like how someone would catch a pair of keys, just a little.
catch this head, and it sits in your hand.
Yeah.
It's smaller than you thought it would be, right? This head
Yeah.
of your father. And as you look at it, a vision crosses your eyes, and you see your father standing in front of an enormous golden dragon, and the dragon just eviscerating your father, and in a way like to the point that at the end you see a clawed dragon foot just like step down on his body, and the other clawed hand pulling the head off of your father. And as that vision ends, it ends staring into the same eyes that you saw in that vision. And Jeffrey stares back at you and says, I wish I could offer you the chance to end it for your own sake. I know you would love to have that closure, but unfortunately, what's done is done. I can, however, offer you something that I think you may still be interested in. And far be it from me to speak to the mind of a demon slayer, but, and he snaps his hand, in this sort of enchantingly wicked battle axe appears in his hand, this great axe. And as you stare at it, you can feel coming from the blade, as strange as it sounds, you know it to be true, a sense of confusion. And he looks at you and he says, this axe was birthed in cosmic light, but it was quenched in everlasting darkness. This was a weapon that was designed by the gods to kill the creatures of chaos and fire. But us creatures of chaos and fire have a way of turning things, and before the blade was finished, we had it, and we finished its creation. Now this blade will follow the heart of its wielder. And every day, when you wake up, the blade will understand whether it is that you wish to kill those who carry the cosmic light, or those who would carry the chaos and the flame. And it will help you. He tosses you the axe.
Malcolm's gonna catch that.
As you catch it in one hand, because of your just immense stature, as your hand wraps around it, you feel as though you've held it for 1,000 years. And another vision crosses your eyes, and you see yourself standing atop a massive pile of different low-level demons, and you're in the pits of hell, and demons are approaching you from all sides, and you spin this axe and you slash, and as you do, you see bursts of radiant light strike into the chests of these demons as they explode. Someone casts this firebolt at you, and you watch it just flicker off your shoulder. Your eyes dart to the person who offended, and you cleave them in two with no effort whatsoever. And then it shifts, and there you are, standing in the field, in front of you, a battlefield of clerics with these celestial beings above them, and you wreak havoc as your blade deals fire. Their radiant damage hits you, and it seems to dissipate and almost turns into darkness as it touches you. You are unfazed, unstoppable. And as you cleave this last cleric in half, the vision ends, and you stare back at Jeffrey, who looks at you and he says, this blade is called God's Rage, and I believe it suits you best.
What's the catch?
It's not a catch, Malcolm, it's a deal. You will have to swear allegiance to me, but Those who are not allied with me and with my allies are fair game, of which there are many. All I ask is that my enemies become your enemies.
I have to swear allegiance to you.
You would, my friend.
Is he really gone?
He is really gone.
Okay. And he throws the axe back at him. No.
He catches it in one hand and it like disappears and he goes, that's disappointing. Who would speak to me next?
Cal's gonna kind of walk up, I guess, and just stand right in front of him.
Shy, are we, necromancer? What is it that you want, Alpion?
I want him back.
I could offer you a deal, and he could be standing right here. But that's not all you want, is it? You want the power to keep him there, don't you? You want
Yeah.
the power to make the people who made you feel pain feel everything you felt 1,000,000 times over. What I offer you is not one soul. He snaps, and in his hands appears a staff of this wrought black iron with red iron sort of inlaid on the edges with very sharp, wicked angles. And in his other hand, a solid black ring. And he holds them both out. Would you like to see?
Yeah, she's gonna take them both.
As you hold them, you watch yourself in the vision as your fingers finish wrapping around the staff. The vision appears, and it's you, and he's right beside you. And you've just finished resurrecting him with this staff. And on top of that, you see yourself making bodies for each of you, clones, kept safe in a place that only you know of. And as you leave this place together, you both smile at each other and you turn and your enemies approach and you watch as you shoot these darts of pure necrotic damage and it slices through your enemies. And as they drop, they come back up, their eyes unfocused, but they are alive again. And they turn and they follow you. And as you march, a small horde of undead begins to build behind you. And you are untouched as you walk across the lands, a warlord with an army of undead. And then the vision ends.
What do I have to do?
You swear allegiance to me. My allies become your allies. My enemies become your enemies. I know that you have a contract. I understand. You were willing to make a contract with anybody if you thought it would get you a little bit closer. Bad business. But I understand. Unfortunately, I don't know if you are aware of this, but your contract has been bought by someone else. Because your original benefactor is no longer with us. I'm offering you the chance to look your benefactor in the eyes and join me. We could be something together. And even if you have no wish to deal with me whatsoever, again, I understand. But you and him, you would be together again. And more than that, you would have the power to keep it that way.
I'll do it.
He reaches out his hand and he cuts it, and there's blood. And he motions for you to do the same.
Okay.
Offers his hand to shake. As you shake it, this burst of demonic energy happens as the contract is forged. You see written, and you can all see this written in Infernal, contract being written very quickly. He turns to the rest of you, and as he turns to the rest of you, who should walk in the door but
Oh.
Lady Catlyn
What?
and
Oh,
a dwarven cleric.
What
Not
timing?
met.
Yeah.
Sweet. So as this happens, and mind you, now Fox is still sort of standing in the doorway with the guard, unsure of what to do. And as Lady Catlyn and the dwarven cleric walk in, Thraine, and what you see as you walk into this room is a horrific sight that immediately sort of starts to trigger some things, and they are none of them good. The smell, the bones, this is a horrible place to be. And as
Great.
Catlin walks in, she looks and she sees this demon, and immediately her hand goes towards the crossbow, and Jeffrey goes, no, not so fast. We are talking. If you want to kill, we can kill. For now, we are talking. And he looks at the cleric, and he goes, now this is the beginning of a really bad joke, isn't it? A demon and a cleric walk into a bar.
Wait, this
Well-
place is a bar?
what are the drinks, bro?
He like gestures over to you, Barry. He's like, I see why you became a bard. He looks back at you, Thraine, and he goes, what do you want, cleric?
I was asked to be here, actually.
I don't mean why do you want to be here. I mean, what do you want?
I mean, like, it'd be nice to know what's going on.
Well, in a short sense, I am a demon. Good to meet you. My name is Jeffrey. This is
Oh,
my, I suppose it's not my home. It's sort of like an inn, but I am staying here. These are some of them friends. Galpion is a friend. The rest are acquaintances. And we are talking business. I am trying to make more friends. Difficult for me, as you can imagine, looking the way that I do. He looks at you for a minute longer and then grins.
You just like,
What if I
all
told you
right.
that I had something that you might be interested in? Would you like to see?
What? Sure. What is it?
He snaps his hand, and in front of him, this beautiful set of dwarven-sized but elven-crafted plate armor appears. There's a purple robe that flows from the back of it. Gorgeous set of gleaming silver armor. Just touch it.
Is it gonna hurt me?
No, the opposite, my friend.
All right. And he's like, like goes to
As
touch
your
it.
trembling hand touches it, immediate, you see a vision, and it's you clad in this glorious armor, and light seems to just be emanating from you. And you watch yourself look over as a comrade is slain, gone, instantly killed, and you raise them from the dead. And as you turn, there are people around you, all of them taking arrow shots, and you hold your hands out, and all of them, these arrows seem to like fall out of them, and their wounds are healed. And you watch as someone takes a huge ballista shot straight through their side, and they're looking at this gaping wound, and you hold your hand out, and immediately that wound is healed. And this person looks at you with the most gracious look on their face. They can't believe that this is possible. And it's just you in this circle of light and hope, and the people around you are just cheering because what should be a palace of death has become this fortress of light and hope and life. And it all circles around you, this bastion that is able to bring life where only death existed before. That vision is gone. And you're staring at the armor and Jeffrey, and he's like, I can offer this to you. I can make you what you want. The life giver. The name
What
of
would
this
I-
armor.
What would I have to do?
You would have to promise that my enemies would be your enemies. I would not ask you to hurt anyone, but I would not ask you to help those who would seek to destroy me. And I would ask that my allies become your allies, and that when they are hurt, you would do what you do best, and that is bring life. I'm not asking you to become a warrior of darkness. I would not ask you to change who you are or what you believe. But I think that you would be a powerful ally.
Thank you for that. I'll think on it. I appreciate the offer. This is kind of a lot going on at the moment. So I appreciate it. I'd like to kind of, meet these other folks a little bit, kind of get my bearings, and then maybe I'll get back to you on that.
Sure. After all, we have all night, do we not?
Think so?
And he turns around and starts working with the potions that he was working with on the table before. And you're standing there in the room with these people that you've never seen before in your life. The air feels heavy and cold and dank. There is a massive tiefling barbarian with a great axe slung over his back that looks furious. There is a woman who seems to be scouting the perimeter of the room, who sort of flashes a look back, and you can tell there's an air of like regality and formality, but also of danger. Clearly this person operates in the shadows and is used to that. There is a man that is a skeleton with some rather fanciful looking clothes, or rather they were fanciful. It seems as though they have found themselves in a bit of a state of disrepair recently, tuning guitar. And you see another tiefling who is clad in much darker clothing with a staff, who now finds herself standing a little bit closer to this 10-foot tall demon. And then, of course, you did not see, nor have you met, the blonde hair, short cropped himbo man standing in plate armor alongside a man of much smaller stature who is wearing much less armor, holding a spear. And the person that you came in with, Lady Catlyn, immediately goes and begins having his hushed conversation with this blonde haired, blue eyed guy.
So the demon is just like, all right, I did my piece. I'm gonna work on my stuff now. And we're just like in his place. Okay, all right. Yeah. I'm just gonna be like, the first thing I'm gonna do is just like assess if anybody needs healings. Like I want to get a read on like how hurt everybody looks. Like, does anybody need anything? Like that's like my primary objective.
I would say you look around, and I'm not sure. What are you guys looking like?
Barry's down 10 health, living the dream.
I could maybe use like a cookie or something. Like,
Sounds good.
I feel
Yeah,
like
we're all good
Thraine
right
has
now.
baked goods on him
Okay.
somewhere.
Oh, definitely.
Like,
Without a doubt.
He's a big bear.
yeah,
Yeah.
he has baked goods on him somewhere.
Like, so everybody like doesn't look too bad is what I'm getting, or
Yeah.
I'm all right. Yeah,
That's fine.
okay. And then so I think he's just gonna kind of like go up to everyone like kind of individually and just be like, hello, it's nice to meet you. Like I was called here, and I'm just here. If you need any help, if you need anything, please let me know. I'd be happy to help you guys out. That's what I'm here for.
Barry shakes your hand furiously and is just like, it's so wonderful to meet you. My name is Barry. I can tell you have the music in you, and gives you bardic inspiration.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So lovely.
Dude just head nods from across the room and is like, could have used you a couple of days ago, but welcome to the party.
Well, I didn't get a letter a couple of days ago. I just got it. Maybe the bad weather.
Nod.
Malcolm is gonna look at you like he absolutely hates you and just go, I like you. and just slaps you so hard on the back you fly across the room.
Incredible.
I love that.
I'm gonna say, give me just a Constitution saving throw after that back slap.
Love it so much.
Oh, my dice are off the table. That is
on the ground.
a dirty 20.
Great. So
That's
it
good.
hurts, but you've had
Mhm.
worse. You've definitely
right.
had worse.
Just picks himself up and dust off. And
I just let out like a really loud cough. And he's like,
It like echoes through the chamber, which is now weirdly very quiet.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. And so Cal, as you stand next to Jeffrey, you see he sort of like finishes something. He seems to be pleased with what he's created. Sets it down, he turns back and he looks at the group. Jude, what did you get for your investigation check? Do you remember?
I rolled a 12 and then I have a +1, so 13.
13. Okay. A lot of this stuff is not in your domain. There's stuff written in Infernal, which you speak, you understand, but it's not like reading a how-to manual. This is like very clearly weirdly specific stuff. So while you understand the language and like the titles of these books, they're sort of meaningless to you. You see papers and like drawings on them and names that don't make a lot of sense. And the books that are on the floor seem to be one is talking about sort of this like age of primordial beings, and then the next one is talking about very specific anatomy of like different creatures, and it feels like that you've walked into 3 different scholars rooms all at the same time. So but you do find on this back wall here this stone table. When you find that table, that table is covered in some things that you do understand, right? There's like a map of the continent and it's got markings on it. The markings mean very little to you, but you do understand that this has seen a decent amount of use, and those markings have moved, and that there are like pieces on them that are moving around.
It's clearly a battle strategy.
It seems less like a battle strat because there aren't like opposing pieces. It's not. It seems like there's just like markers for something.
What do the markers look like?
They look like X's. It looks like there are just like X's in different places. So whether those are locations or something that they're looking for, or
idea.
Something else, yeah, you're not clear as to what that is. But you also find huge chests of gold just sitting out. There is like 3 or 4 different massive just chests full of gold and different gemstones and
From
things
which
of that
kingdom?
nature.
Can I tell from which kingdoms that gold is from?
Oh, it seems like it's from kingdoms far and wide across the continent, but weirder, it seems like there's gold from much earlier, from places that no longer exist. And then there are gemstones that seem like they it's impossible for you to tell how old those are.
Anything really specific going on.
Yeah. So as you finish that like sort of investigation check, Jeffrey turns around to the group and he goes, so what do we think?
What happens to the town?
What happens to the town? Nothing happens to the town.
Would I have to hurt anyone?
No, my friend.
would you hurt anyone?
I am a demon.
I understand that.
Fair.
Your friends are also hurting people.
How so? Explain.
You murdered all of my friends, and it could be said that they were hostile, and that is fair. But ask them if those are the first people they have killed, and I promise they will tell you no. He points at Jude. You think her hands are clean?
They're not.
He points to Dalcom. You think his hands are clean? Points to Fox. His hands. You think they are clean? Hers. Points to Catlyn. Her hands. You think they are clean? The world is a messy place, Barry. I understand that this is frustrating. It would be easier if it were black and white and you didn't have to do the things that were uncomfortable. And I will not ask you to do those things. But if you expect that the world will change because of the morality that you hold, you will find yourself in constant disappointment and agony. You are fighting against a river, my friend. And you are not a dam. You are just one stick. Just one man of bones.
Great metaphor.
Very
Good.
yeah, that was
That was
pretty good.
Thanks.
Barry looks down at his guitar, and on his guitar is etched in the initials of the band, Mary, Terry, and Jerry. And he thinks back to a moment. He's told the story many times of how they fought the dragon and everything, and it's a lot of fantastical stuff, but he thinks back to the real thing when they were standing on top of a tavern and there was fire everywhere and they were just all like prepared to die. And Mary turned to them all and said, "Hey, let's just save one. Just one person." And he looks back at everybody and looks at Cal. And he says, "No. You're giving me a good deal. But I can't sit there. And whatever you have planned, I can't just sit there and watch it happen just to be with the band again."
Very.
Cal, why'd you have to do it?
This was the goal all along. You knew that.
We could have got there on our own. We didn't need this.
Barry, I'll understand something that you are missing. And that is that whoever it is that you want to be, and whatever it is that you want to accomplish, you need power. That is an unfair necessity of life. What I am offering you is the chance to be 10 times the person that you wish you could be. Now, all of the things that you wish you can do. If you wish to save one person, that is what I am offering you. That power. I understand you may not like it. And that morality will get you a lot of things, maybe, in a song. Understand, I do not speak this maliciously. I have no ill intentions towards you, Barry. I am merely speaking the truth. Power is a necessity to accomplish a goal. Power is not good, it is not bad, it just is. How you use it, that is who you are. Of course she took the deal. It's a good deal. A lot of people call me stupid for making such a good deal. But I do not see the point of cheating someone out of a potential. The more powerful you are, the more powerful we are. No? But I understand. You have said no. I will not offer it again. He turns to Jude.
I was gonna say, so while he's having that whole speech, Jude just kind of like creeps up behind him, and like at the end of it, she taps him on the shoulder and is like, "I'll take the crown."
He again, he slits his hand, the blood, and he offers it to you.
Jude takes out a intricately designed dagger, flips it very dramatically, slices open her hand, and very forcefully shakes his hand very adamantly and like dabs him out.
So as you shake and start to dab him up, he's like, "Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Come on, Jude." So-
Brings it in for a hug.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. You guys have a weirdly already very familial handshake that's like 4 or 5 steps long. It's confusing to people watching who know you just met. There's like a bird that comes in at one point. There's like
It only
a
makes
chest
sense.
bump into a hug. It's a lot. It's clear that you guys should have been friends for years. But as it completes, you feel that energy explode around the room again, and again you see that infernal writing appear in magical red, and then is whisked away. And allow me to send you what is now.
Nobody said I can't use this power against you later.
That's literally the deal.
That is the deal.
That's
That is
actually the
That's
deal,
the
though.
deal.
Like
That's
actually,
the
like,
deal.
deals.
What's that?
And you think I can't break a deal?
Not this
Not
kind.
with the demon.
Right.
I mean, you signed with
can't I
blood and
try?
infernal writing.
This is
You're just
magic.
gonna
Right.
try.
I'm gonna
This is
Uh,
like some unbreakable vow type shit. Like there's no
Like you'll just die on the spot. She's gonna be
Dude,
me
I'm
and
not
Dalcom
saying that
fucking
I'm
it
going.
up.
I'm just saying, like, at this point in time, better to join him than be against him. We'll see what happens later.
Also, while this is happening, Barry is going to go stand right next to Dalcom, knowing that this is his only ally now.
Okay, so
Dalcom
I've
is
just-
gonna give him another forceful pat on the back. Maybe a rib pops out.
Rattles.
So Jeffrey looks to you, Thraine, and he's like,
I would say, wait, Jude instantly goes to a mirror and like adjusts her new circlet around her horns. Jude doesn't have like tiefling horns, but her hair is always styled in these giant horns because the Fae are dramatic as fuck, and she's human, but she has to like blend in with her court. So she just kind of like fits this around her horns and goes, I like it.
as it sits on your head, you feel this familiar and honestly, having been away from the Feywild even for this long, there is a little bit of homesickness that's happening, and this washes it away. You are standing in your element. The Fey magic immediately courses through you, and you hear almost like these voices of friends and people that are just sort of whispering in your mind, and you feel the responsibility of what it means to be the Queen of the Fey. You feel the power of the Feywild as this circlet sort of comes to your aid in its attempt to sort of bolster and show the power of the Fey and to defend the true ruler of the Feywild. And I'm sure you noticed your armor class immediately goes up.
Went up.
And you
yeah.
feel you feel a magical energy that you've not felt before. The ability to control this Fey magic and use it to your advantage courses through you. And then he looks at you, Thraine, and he says, "Have you made up your mind yet, Larry?"
I appreciate, what you're offering me, but I think I'll have to pass. But thank you so much.
Understandable. He looks at you, and then he looks at you, Dalcom, and he looks at you, Barry, and he says, "I won't say I'm not disappointed. I would like to think that there is a world where, but there is not. And so now I offer you the opportunity to walk away. There is no need for us to engage in more violence. I have no reason to hurt you."
I think Dalcom actually is gonna turn to walk away. His whole purpose now has been kind of defeated.
Okay. So you turn around and you
And
start to
he's
walk
gonna
out.
but he's gonna stop at Fox. And he's gonna be like, "Do we kill him?"
Fox looks at you and goes, "We have to."
Then we'll die together. He turns around and just pulls out his axe.
He held up his hand for the predator handshake.
Dalcum completely misses that. He does not.
Leaves. So there's a little bit of psychic damage that Fox is going to take. I'm going to go ahead and.
He just Fox is just sitting there like, man.
Oh God, he got maximum psychic damage on that.
I mean,
Really?
if someone as cool as Dalcum leaves you hanging like that, it's
Especially
only natural.
when you've just said that you're going to die together, and then it's clear he doesn't care that you're still there.
Damn.
He takes some psychic damage and sort of stares down.
R.I.P. dog.
You also see Catlyn pulls out a crossbow and a long sword. And so does Fox pulls out his sword and a shield. And it seems like they're getting ready. This guard also sort of like moves the spear over very shakily, but standing his ground nonetheless.
Dalcum is gonna be like, Barry, dwarf, are you with us?
Barry's gonna swing the guitar around and just start playing. Come on, feel the noise.
Come on, feel the noise. Okay, all right. So on that, let's we're gonna have to go ahead and roll for initiative.
Oh God,
Let's do it.
I can't believe we have to fight those two as well.
Jeffrey looks as you guys pull out your weapons, and he just goes, "I was disappointed. Would you not take the deal? I am insulted that you are this stupid."
I have always been a disappointment.
He looks at you, Barry, and he goes, "I know, and so does your band."
Oh,
I'm just gonna look at Jeffrey and be like, to be fair, I've always been a disappointment too.
Yeah. I say, and you know what? You don't have the music in you. Also, I rolled an 18.
Dalcum's be like, get wrecked.
19.
Okay.
11 plus 13.
All right. Now
I have
go
12.
Ahead. Can you guys? I'm going to put your tokens on the map. I want you guys to put them where you feel like you would be.
I am right next to Fox wherever he is.
Okay.
Right next to Dalcum. Fuck it up.
Oh, and I did not. Thraine, I'm sorry.
I was like,
Thraine,
damn.
you don't get to fight Thraine. I'm sorry.
Please give us a cleric. Please.
Not like
must be this tall to fight. Sorry, Thraine.
No, we're
Yeah,
definitely
right.
we're
No, I
definitely
went
gonna
for the
need
cheap
Thraine.
shot. I'm sorry. It was wrong, and I am disappointed in myself.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna need Thraine.
Come on, feel the noise.
It's going on in the background.
If only we could actually like play that.
Yeah,
while
I
the
would say
fight
if
is
we weren't
going.
getting
I know.
copyright stricken, that would have been fucking
Oh,
great.
man.
Just keep it
That'd
playing.
be cool.
For the viewers out there, turn the song on
Play it.
yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just
Alexa,
repeat it
play
until
Come On,
combat
Feel
is
the
over.
Noise.
Yeah.
Just
So now
put it on repeat
the
until
robots are
combat
all
is
doing it.
over. Keep playing it the
Yeah,
entire
just
time.
I
going.
just bogarted all of their Alexas. I commandeered the robots. The robots are playing it now.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, we will. We'll call it there.